Hola, how y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? So we're back with Higurashi. As I slid the door open, a blackboard eraser loaded with chalk dropped on my head at the moment I stepped into the classroom. They're playing pranks on him. The chalk went to my eyes, including a brief moment of inducing a brief moment of agony. Oh ho ho ho. Why is it so loud? How befitting for the truant Keiichi-san. Let's have a look. I don't know where the audio is fine. I'm looking at the audio setting and should be fine. Good morning to both of you, Keiichi and Rena. Bro, I wouldn't have gone back to school and just been like, hey, how y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? A-okay, haha. Not quite in the mood for it, I didn't really react to Satoko's trap. Satoko braced herself as I passed by, expecting me to attack her. She seemed a bit disappointed as I simply walked by silently. How discouraging indeed. They're in it too. Alright, I'm sorry, they're in it. They have to be. Keiichi doesn't seem back to his usual 2 out of 4. Nah, I'm not buying that. Yeah. Take it easy on him for today, Kei. Suddenly there was a slap down on my shoulder. It hurt. We all know who that's from. Of course. Got the freak eyes and all more. Kei-chan, did you get enough rest? It was Mion. My mind was full to stuff about Orana, but Mion was also a party of interest. Exactly, and likely the other two too. Remember, Keiichi, that hawkish gaze from yesterday.
Ohayo.
Yeah, morning. What's with the energetic greeting? Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he most certainly did. Did he eat? Well, spat out, but still. Did he eat the mochi I bought ya? I'm like this because I ate them. Those words were itching to be blurted out. I really just didn't have the appetite. What a way to dance around the topic. I ate a few, but quite a lot were left over. What about the homework? Do you have an answer for which one was Rena's? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Time for... Look at them just like pretending like everything is A-okay. Like if I'm evil, I'm gonna be evil. I'm not gonna pretend to be good, right? I'd be like, you know, with my evil twirly mustache, I'm gonna be like, $1 million. Like that would be me when I'm evil, alright? But like, I'm not even gonna pretend to be good, cause you know, I guess there are different ways to be evil, I guess, but still. Flashing a lurid smile, Mion returned to his seat. There was nothing from our exchanges that would cause our classmates to suspect anything was amiss. But of course, anyone listening to our conversation up until this morning wouldn't see anything suspicious. That was why it was so frightening. They acted in a way that regardless of whatever happened to Keiichi Maibara, no one would ever suspect them, and that fact had me terrified. Soon the teacher came. Now the question is how many people are actually involved. Is it just children? Is it the teachers as well? Who else is involved here? After she asked how I felt and took attendance, another dull, ordinary day began. Maybe she is the culprit all along. And that's literally where it would have ended. Like 3 minutes later. Okay, cool. Cool. There we go. Way back. This free study period was a convenient time to consider where I stood. I gently closed my eyes and pondered that ridiculous position I was in right now. First of all, what I shouldn't forget was how dangerous of a situation I was in. I had fallen out of favor with them. After interacting with Oishi-san multiple times, I could see it as I was getting closer to the heart of the matter. I've got this like so quiet, but like when I turn it up, like right now it's at 6, volume 6, it's just like it's extremely quiet. If I turn it up to like 8, it's like extremely loud. There's like no in between with this game. After interacting with Oishi-san multiple times, I could see it as I was getting closer to the heart of the matter. The warning yesterday with the mode chip was a good indicator of that. No, calling it a warning was just my habit of understanding things. It probably had no meaning beyond stunting my progress and buying themselves some time. Until they had a method of completely erasing me, and they were just biding their time. Even though they were keeping me under their thumb with threat, it didn't change the fact that I knew too much. The chilling sensation of my desk made me recall Satoshi Hojo, the boy who was using this seat until last year when he disappeared. Was he also similar to me? Did he learn something he shouldn't have and was erased? Damn. I wouldn't let them get rid of me so easily. Never. But were they really trying to kill me? I've had these contradictory feelings for a while now. Even though I suspected them, I felt I had to cover for them. Even having witnessed all of their suspicious behavior, a morning like this just made it all seem like an elaborate hoax. No, that's just what I wanted to believe. Doubting my friends? Covering for them? My life was in danger. Or was it? Actually, I was debating the wrong point. Given my current situation, these points were something that should have been deliberated on a long time ago. Very true. But really, Rena and the rest of them? Were they actually aiming to kill me? The little voice inside me continued to torment me with these unresolvable trains of thoughts. Are you an idiot, Keiichi Maibara? The answer should be obvious. But maybe. That sewing needle might have just been an accident, right? That's what I thought, but I went with the words as well and everything. There's just too much, right? There is just too much. There's too much that's wrong here. How could you screw up and drop a sewing needle into a piece of mochi? The benefit of the doubt can only go so far. Both Rena and Mion had acted and behaved suspiciously, but maybe it was all some sort of misunderstanding. Really now. What kind of misunderstanding? It wasn't just suspicious, it was outright ludicrous, right? Rena just corrected me for lying, and Mion only asked me about what I had for lunch. Rena was standing outside my doors eavesdropping for a solid hour. She was probably just waiting for my phone call to end. For a whole hour outside your room, and is it normal to go home afterwards without saying anything? You heard from Oishi-san, didn't you? About what Rena did at her former school. But at the hospital, she said it was Oyashiro-sama's fault. She...
いい加減にしろよ、前原圭一。お前、命を狙われてるって自覚あるのかよ。
The whole world is against him. The whole world is against him. Cut it out, Keiichi Maibara. Don't you realize they're out to kill you? No. I inadvertently blurted those words. Well, I inadvertently blurted those words out loud. Hearing myself say that so directly left me dumbfounded for a few moments. Afterwards, I had to look around to check if anyone else had heard it. My little Okay. Straight to Google. Straight to Google. An act of speaking one's thoughts aloud by oneself or regardless of any hearers, especially by a character in a play. Okay, well, I get it. My little how do you even say it? Soliloquy. It's like tranquillism. I'm assuming that's like the qui. Tranquillism. Nah, not really. Soliloquy. And then sol. Soul. I guess that's a root word. I don't know. Talking to yourself out loud, I guess. Got a little too close to the truth. Even though I could feel the murderous intent from Rena and the others, part of me somewhere was still trying to deny that. This late in the game, such hesitations could be fatal. I knew that. What should all be a misunderstanding? Like they're thinking he's after them and so on and so forth, and that's why they put that face on. And they're like, okay, we need to eliminate him before he can eliminate us. And while he's thinking, okay, I need to eliminate them before they can eliminate me, it's all a big old misunderstanding. But I was just your average student, a man living his normal, ordinary life. Do you think I could suddenly believe that my friends who I've been happily laughing together with up until last Sunday now intended to kill me, right? You need to stop saying that out loud. You're too soft, Keiichi. This time I remembered to keep my voice down so only I could hear it. There is only one thing I now understood. I was too soft, kill or be killed. I didn't completely understand how dangerous Ren and the rest of them were. No, I wasn't trying to understand. I was too soft for not listening to Oyoshi-san when he was earnestly showing me the heart of the matter. I didn't listen because I was too busy pretending to be dejected. I didn't comprehend it. I was just running away. I didn't comprehend it, so nobody had any notion to try and kill me. I needed to get rid of such naive thoughts. As I made that resolution, I heard the bell signaling the end of class. So soon. The day was already over. I didn't recall eating lunch or doing anything in class. My friends were putting their desks together in preparation for club activities. Not long ago, I would probably have happily jumped into that circle. I just say I'm not feeling well. I'm going home. That's my excuse. My, Keiichi-san. How rude of you to even think about leaving. The way Satoko spoke was so typical and familiar, it almost physically hurt. Look at those eyes. Oh, Keiichi-kun, is today not a good day? I wonder. With the how as well? Nah, you're not fooling me with that one. I wonder. And we were going to win big together. How? Seeing Rena's expression, which said she was really looking forward to today, was hard to take. Oi, Keiichi, maybe Oishi-san is just some enormous jerk trying to separate me from the others by lying to me. Slap. Snaps himself back to reality. Back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. Oop. How does that? Back to reality. That's an Eminem song, right? I think. Can't think of the rest now. Trying to expunge such weak-minded thinking, I slapped myself in the face. Keiichi-kun? Yeah, was Rena really trying to kill me? I wish someone would tell me it was a hoax. I didn't care if it actually was one or not. I just wanted someone to say it was. Gah, yet another weak-willed thought. How did I... Mate, you're a child, fam. And suddenly you're confronted with people that you thought were your friends that are maybe killers, maybe not. How did I ever become this naive? Are you alright? Does your head hurt? Apparently that is how my inner dilemma appeared to Rena. You're pale. Can you make it home by yourself? No. Maybe I should accompany you home, I wonder. No, it's okay. Sorry. I can get home by myself. Just have the meeting without me. Upon hearing that I wasn't going to participate in a club meeting, Mion pouted unhappily. Oh, he's gonna deduce your ass. Since Kei-chan was so bent on a revenge match, we were even going to play that deduction game from before too. And they're all in on it. I'm calling that now. They're all in on it. Kei-chan doesn't have the burning desire for a rematch. How pathetic. I wouldn't fall for some dumb taunt, damn it. Without even a real retort, I just grabbed my bag and was about to get up. Someone's hand perched itself gently on my head. If she is evil, that will break my heart, but I think she is. Doesn't seem too well. How very unfortunate. It was Rika-chan. She was stretched up as far as she could, doing her best to pat my head with a petite hand. It felt so nice, which made things even harder.
ごめんな
Sorry,
みんな
everybody.
じゃあ
See ya. That's all I said as I quickly left. He's like, I'm out of here. They're gonna stop him or something. That's all I said as I quickly left the classroom. They said something to me as I was leaving, but I couldn't make it out. We're gonna kill ya. That's what they said. I managed to make it all the way to the entrance in that state of mind, took out my shoes, put them on, and went forward. Forward. Hardened at heart, Keiichi Maibara. And they were, for some unfathomable reason, trying to kill me. They were plotting something dubious, watching my every move. But I couldn't hate him. Because one day my mate. I could kill my friends easily, and I would have no mercy. If they were out to kill me, it's kill or be killed. I have no issue. I'm like, Now and then, be done with it. Part of me lamented my naivete, while another part lamented the fact that I had lost something important by lamenting over it. My goodness, stop with the lamenting, my bruv. It felt like my personality was being ripped in two along with my body. If this is what Oyashiro-sama's curse was like, then it was just too harsh. Hey Oyashiro-sama, I was wrong for not believing in your curse, but I believe in it now, completely. Your curse does exist, so seriously, give me a break. I beg you, come on. They're gonna be waiting outside or some shit like that. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. They're gonna be knocking on his door or some shit like that. Well, then it was unusually bland. It had no flavor or aroma. The miso soup that normally tantalized my appetite instead tasted like nothing but boiled water. My dad was eating with us that night. It was a rare occurrence in his household. When he got into his work, he ate and slept on his own schedule. My dad never cared about the time. Since my dad was at the table, it either meant he had just reached a good point to take a break, or he was in a slump.
So yeah, he just doesn't understand the motivations creators have.
The partnership was a verbal agreement, wasn't it? If it's so hard to agree on things, why not just end it?
I feel like it's an industry with a lot of back scratching, but when it gets in the way of business.
I wasn't able to pick out much from Mum and Dad's conversation, but I could tell it wasn't a very pleasant topic. And that, of course, made the disgusting food even less appalling. Staring limitlessly, my goodness, my reading today, and it wasn't appalling, it was appealing. Staring listlessly at the exchange between my parents, my mind wandered off to the same thought process I had going all day long. Friends close to me, no. They used to be friends, but I could no longer trust them. Right now, I was greatly lacking in allies. People I trusted, people I could depend on when push came to shove. They were something I just didn't have. Having just one ally would have been incredibly reassuring in the currently hopeless situation I was in. Oh yeah. I put down my chopsticks and looked over at my parents, who were still talking about work. The first course of action that came to mind was to tell my parents everything. Currently, there wasn't a single person from Hinamizawa I could trust 100%. That meant the only people I could trust were my parents. But if I told them everything up until now, would they understand? They'd think you're going crazy, mate. You'd be sent to the next hospital. You'd be sent to the next mental ward. Rena, for example. That neighborly Rena, who was so diligent in looking after me, came to get me every day and sometimes brought over a share of what she made. How could I explain that she wanted to kill me? No matter how I explained, it would probably be difficult for anybody to comprehend. My somewhat eccentric dad wouldn't understand, and my high-strung mum would probably drag me off to a psychiatrist in a blink of an eye. Yeah, precisely. Sadly, that was the amount of trust that existed in our relationship. Even if they did come to understand, what could they possibly do? Unless they could uncover the truth, they wouldn't be able to protect me. No, by informing them of these unnecessary things, I'd be putting my parents in danger as well. Considering that the victims in the past incidents were often married couples, I couldn't even joke about it. For the entire Maibari family to have an accident or to just vanish into thin air, it was easily possible in Hinamizawa. What was important here was that knowing something unnecessary would put you in danger. The most unsettling question was, how did they know that I knew? As long as they didn't know, my parents might not fall victim. That was one way to think about it, I guess. At least it was like that in my case. After I found out, things started becoming odd. In other words, it meant the following. As long as my parents didn't know anything, nothing would happen to them. Which means that this house would be safe haven, as long as my parents were in. I knew these were just assumptions based on conjecture, of course, on top of conjecture. Alright, I think I need to stop. My reading is absolutely terrible today. Absolutely terrible today. Wanting this house to be a safe haven, that was the pinnacle of my weak-willed method of thinking. I had to concede that it was not completely safe. It was only safer than the outside. I knew that I couldn't rely on my parents. No, I couldn't risk getting my parents involved. Then the only person who could be my ally would be Oishi-san. Him and him alone. He was the only person who understood the situation I was in. He didn't care so much about my safety, but he was without a doubt passionate about solving this case. It was a bit frustrating. Oishi-san was basically the whole reason I was in this mess. Now to get out of it, I had to rely on him. What if he was just using you as bait? Now that he knows that there's a target on your head, he can go after you. Meaning it was all going according to his devices. It was just my job to look appetizing while bobbing in the weeds a bit as bait. And then when the fish started gathering around, Oishi-san would pull up with the big hole. It was slightly infuriating, but even I thought that was the best course of action. So then, what should I do? Patience was the first rule of fishing. Just keep waiting and fish actually bites. But I wasn't simply bait. There were lots of other ways for me to struggle before being devoured. When they struck, I needed to somehow dodge as enough and tag out to Oishi-san. No question it was going to be hard. The timing to bring Oishi-san in would be difficult. He was in a city, not Hinamizawa. So if I found him in my moment of need, it would take him about 30 minutes to reach me. So I needed to run away from those 30 minutes. For example, if we set up a runaway point for dire situations or something, I just have to hide out there until Oishi-san arrives. He's planning for way too many eventualities. He should just be like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. Let me buy a hatchet. Come in here, I've got a hatchet. Okay, I can almost see it now. I was still being chased around in the dark by boogeymen, but now I knew which way to go. I would never have imagined this would be so reassuring. Oh yeah. It would probably be best if I had concealed a weapon for when things... Yes, most certainly. Typically, that would call for a switchblade. But that wasn't too reassuring for combat. Just learn how to... When they come at you with a knife, you're like... Just knock the knife out of the hand and be like... Take the knife, like just... Got your knife. Now don't come any closer. Also, since it was recognized as a weapon by the public, that also wasn't good. Really, when the time comes, a long weapon like a bat would work in my favor. I remember there was a metal bat at school. I could be confident with that when push came to shove. If I pretended I was practicing my swing, then it wouldn't be suspicious for me to always carry it around. I could go to school early tomorrow and secure it. Just possessing a weapon may be enough to deter them. Also, one more thing, insurance. It could be something like a note or memo. I could write down everything that's happened as a sort of journal. In case I suddenly vanished, the journal would be left behind. With my journal in its position, Oishi-san should be able to avenge my death. I left my parents engrossed in their conversation about work and went back to my room. Watch them just like write a journal and then they're gonna come over and be like, hi! Oh. I tore out a piece of paper from a notebook and made my way to my desk. Last time I wrote a journal was for summer homework in elementary school. In the off chance something bad happened, the police could use my diary as a lead. So I should only write down the facts. How should I start? I jotted down my... What are the facts? They look scary? That's not really a fact. You know? I, Keiichi Maibara, I'm in fear for my life. It made me laugh nervously. It was a line that showed up so often in detective stories. I never even dreamed that I would be in a type of situation where I'd write it myself. I do not know why they are after my life. Rena and the others were suspicious, but I had no proof. That's why I couldn't write anything more. Yeah, exactly. I laughed wryly at myself for writing such a passage draped in mystery. Would the police be able to get the hint from reading this enigmatic passage? I could only pray that they would. What I prayed for the most, though, was that this journal never needed to play its part. Here, I laughed nervously. It was too simple, so I wrote down one more line I just thought of. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Yeah, that's gonna further the legend of Yashiri-sama if he dies. Was that too much? I probably shouldn't write more than that. If I wrote any more, then it would seem like it was just like I was just delusional. In order to appear to the reader that the person who had written this was of sound mind, I chose not to write anything else at that point. I just needed to add more as I learned more about the truth. I folded the paper and thought about a place to hide it. By hiding it somewhere obvious, there was a chance that they would uncover it instead. On the other hand, if it was too obscure of a location, then there would be a risk of nobody finding it at all. In the end, I decided to take the clock off my wall and stick my folded note on the back of it with scotch tape. After that, I put the clock back in normal position. Yeah. He's like proud of himself, like, yeah, good stuff. It didn't look like anything was hidden behind it. Now I needed to set it up such that if anything happens to me, my parents could find it. I looked at it from countless different angles until I was satisfied and made my way downstairs. My parents were still talking about work. It didn't look like it was going to end anytime soon, so I couldn't. Sorry to interrupt. I have something I want to talk to you about. I never started off a conversation like that before, so my parents were both startled. They stopped talking and turned towards me. What is it, Keiichi? I have a favor to ask of you. Please listen. Just in case, yeah?
If it's not urgent, can we do this later? Right now, Mommy and Daddy have something urgent they're talking about.
I didn't think the talk was more urgent than mine. In any case, I stated my request. Just in case, okay? If I Bro. They should be like, huh? What are you talking about, fam? Or they're gonna be like, bro, you watch too much TV. Like it's one of the two. If I die, both of my parents' eyes went as wide as saucers. If I die, I want you to put the clock on my wall in my coffin. It's like some special clock. If they did that, then they'll probably think like, my goodness, are you stupid, fam? They'd probably find it. My memoir. Both my parents remained wide-eyed, not moving an inch. I couldn't blame them. I made that clock in shop class and I really like it. So please. Yeah, what's the matter? Keiichi. Did something happen? Mom was finally able to ask me with a questioning gaze. Of course, this was a normal response for when someone suddenly talked about a subject like that, precisely. I felt bad about making them worry, but right now I just wanted them to think about the clock in my room. With the awkward mood, leaving the room in silence, I decided to go back up to my room. I want to get to school early tomorrow, so I'm going to bed. Good night. Saying only that, I left the living room. Man, you just ruined the night, today. I needed to get to school early tomorrow and secure that bat. I should make today the last day I went to school with Rena. As I climbed the stairs, I heard my mum call my name, but I pretended not to hear her. It wasn't something I could talk about with my parents. If I talked about it, it would only make things more dangerous. The fight that had begun was mine and mine alone. I couldn't rely on anybody. My goodness, this guy is I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. Yeah. I'm a soldier. That's a great song. Oh, I wouldn't be killed. Not when I still knew nothing. If you think. And darkness, night approaches. Higurashi, when they cry. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be ending it here for today. I will be seeing all of you in the next one. These will be coming out more regular. I can't say how often, but like, I thought I already had all the tips. No? But these will be coming out more regular. I'll try and make it like every 2 weeks or so. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe every week if I can, but we will see. I will be seeing all of you in the next one though, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, peace out, have a nice day, and as always, bye.